For more than 60 years, Brits have been sold the dream of a new paradise life in Australia. And in Brisbane and the Gold Coast, over 85,000 residents were born in the UK. They're drawn to the paradise beaches, lush rainforest, and the allure of exotic wildlife. This week we'll follow champion lifesaver Stuart as he tries to beat the Aussies at their own sport.
That was pretty hard, that was it.
We'll join plant expert Frank in the rainforest.
Beautiful markings, massive big claws.
And meet Lorraine, who's looking for a holiday lifestyle in Australia.
We are professional sunbathers here.
And we'll find out if they can really find paradise down under.
You woke me up at 5 o'clock in the morning to come here, and you haven't even fed me yet.
I woke up at 6.
5.
Marcus and Lorraine, their daughter Sky, moved to Australia just over a year ago.
And the beaches.
Look at the beach. Wow.
It's 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, and the family are meeting some fellow newly arrived Poms for an Aussie breakfast barbecue on the beach.
Yeah, we were starting to panic. We didn't think Marcus was actually going to find the barbie. It's beautiful here, though, isn't it? If you were in the UK and you had these sort of facilities, they'd be vandalised or trashed and that, where I think because everybody lives outdoors here, people appreciate what we've got on offer, so you do look after it. And the good thing is the men have to do the cooking because it's cool. It is a barbecue, isn't it? To us women, we don't have to cook. It's all for the men. But
They can't.
I'm going to give him such a slap in a minute.
What did you get that from then?
I saw it in that Pommy shop at Coomera.
Their friends, Cheryl and Paul, moved out from Scarborough a year ago. The four met through a British expat Facebook group.
Paul's like our naked chef over here.
Let's get an all-round sometime.
Lorraine and Marcus left their home in Surrey because they wanted a change in lifestyle. They now live in a waterfront house on the Gold Coast.
So this is where we chill out at night and have our TV, English TV programmes. We're still addicted to them, which is really, really sad. So yeah, this is our shady area. So this is where us girls, we'd be out on the deck overlooking the river. And what we do is we move our sunbeds round to face the sun, because sunbathing is actually an art. It's not just about laying there, you do have to move. So when the sun's like moving, you turn your sunbed round, otherwise you'll get stripy lines on your tan. So we are professional sunbathers here. And of course, loads of cream, because otherwise you just peel and you have to start all over again. This guy's struggling, look.
In Australia, Marcus works as a builder and Lorraine an accountant, just as they did in the UK. But here, they're over £10,000 a year better off.
Yummy, yummy. Back home, we worked to just pay our bills. We were paying off the mortgage, the shopping bills, the petrol, everything. You know, me and Marcus both run our own businesses, but we were literally surviving. Come the weekends, we couldn't afford to go off and do something. Here, you work really, really, really hard, but come the weekends, you can afford to go and do stuff. That's the huge difference, I think, here, is your quality of lifestyle.
After the barbecue, as the day starts to hot up, Marcus leads everyone on a walk.
It gets a bit boring. It's too hot to do this much walking.
The Australian lifestyle isn't for everyone. 1 in 5 Brits who move down under don't find paradise and return home. So the family has given themselves a year to decide if Aussie life is for them. 30 miles away at the heart of the Gold Coast is Surfers Paradise, one of Australia's most popular tourist resorts. 68,000 Brits visit here every year. And with 20 miles of golden beaches on the doorstep, it's a world centre for ocean sports. One of the toughest beach water sports is surf lifesaving, a fusion of Ironman events and lifeguarding skills. Becoming the national champion in this Australian activity is a Herculean achievement. And for the last 2 years, a Pom has dominated the sport, 31-year-old Stuart Snell. His first challenge today is to pick a route through the surf for the swim race.
I think the rip's pretty much straight off the line, so I'm probably going to go straight out, and then it will just be where we come back in, really. That's me, so I'm going to go to the line.
It's the Queensland State Final, and the opening event is a 500-metre swim.
Face the water!
They've actually got a fair swim to make to actually get outside the break, get themselves around the cans that are laid out the back, and another long swim back in. But all in all, the swim's the only problem for the guys. The conditions are not too bad at all.
In the scorching heat of the Gold Coast, cooling off in the sea seems enticing, but the pounding waves can be fatal. For over 100 years, Australia's strongest swimmers have volunteered as lifesavers, tackling the dangerous waters to rescue swimmers in peril. After a grueling swim, Britt Stewart emerges from the water in the lead. Stewart has won the first event, but with 5 more to go, he still has a challenge on his hands.
Yeah, it was pretty hard, that was it. Stuart Snell, Northcliffe, open.
He's not just the Aussie champion, he was also a champion in the British surf lifesaving team.
I actually was in America with the World Championships with the British team in 2002, and I met a few guys. They said, oh, come over to Australia and train over here, we've got the best beaches in the world and all this, and it sounded good, so sort of packed my bag one day, bought a plane ticket and came out here, and literally just rocked up at the surf club with my bag and my board under my arm and said, have you got somewhere for me to stay? And they put me up, and yeah, that was about 8 years ago now. My sister had been here travelling before. When she came home, she said to my parents, oh, don't let Stuart go to Australia, he won't come back. And it's pretty much happened.
Stuart grew up in South Wales, where he trained as a swimmer before discovering surf lifesaving.
When I was doing it back in Wales, it was quite difficult. It's cold, it's miserable, and it's pretty lonely out there putting on a wetsuit to go and paddle in the water, where here we just walk down in the togs and the surf's up and the sun's out.
In the UK, Stuart studied as a chemical engineer, but when he settled on the Gold Coast, there were few jobs for scientists, so he retrained.
They don't have any whales in Wales, unfortunately. It's a different spelling, Conrad. Okay, that's called a homicide.
For the last few years, he's worked as a teacher at Surfers Paradise Primary School.
So there's Australia outlined in white, and here we are over here in Brisbane, and look how tiny Wales is. It's just that little bit there. Okay, the whole of Europe fits inside Australia. Okay, we could probably drive. I try and tell them how lucky they are to grow up here in Australia, and not just in Australia, but on the Gold Coast, which is probably, I think, one of the best places in Australia to live.
Stuart must impress in this state championship if he's to qualify for the national finals and compete for his 3rd Aussie title. But competition is tough, and he's fallen behind Australian Michael White.
I mean, Michael's got the advantage. He's got a 2-point lead from the physical events here on the beach today. Yeah, it's going to be pretty close.
It's not looking good for Stuart's title hopes, but there's still another day of competition ahead. People find paradise in different places. Just 12 miles inland from the high-rises and bikinis of Surfers Paradise lies another world entirely, Queensland's subtropical rainforest. It's home to over 1,300 native Aussie creatures and 1,700 types of plant. Irish expat and plant specialist Frank McGrath works with a team of bush regenerators to restore areas of damaged rainforest and preserve flora and fauna.
If you look here, you've got a lace monitor lizard. The first thing they do when you disturb them is they run up a tree. Beautiful markings on them, massive big claws. It always reminds me of like Aboriginal paintings, Aboriginal design. You don't get it in your backyard, kind of. Yeah, it's always interesting to see something like that.
Before moving to Australia, Frank worked in a factory storeroom in Cork. After breaking up with his girlfriend, he headed to Australia for a new start.
I was 10 or 11 years ago, made the decision to migrate to get as far away from Ireland as I could, so it was a toss-up between South America and Australia. I knew as soon as I flew in over here and I could see this, I knew that was it, this was the place for me.
Part of Frank's job is to identify and remove invasive plants brought to Australia by early European settlers, like the rampant weed lantana.
You can see the effect the lantana is having here on the native plants. It's just smothering everything.
But the rainforest is a dangerous place to work. Apart from the 38-degree heat, there are jumping ants everywhere. They have one of the most powerful venoms in the insect world, and they love to use it.
It's funny you don't forget where the nests are either. When you come back next week, you remember that's where that nest of jumping ants was.
Australia is also home to 9 of the world's most dangerous spiders, the world's most venomous snake, and the most painful tree in existence.
Just want to point out a giant stinging tree. This guy here, just be very careful not to touch him. If you brush past that, just excruciating pain. I haven't been stung, but I've been told not ever to touch it.
There has been a recorded suicide just from the intensity of the sting.
If you go close, it's got stinging hairs on the leaf. Dangerous working here because a lot of the time it's at head high and you're caught up with what you're doing and you can just suddenly come up and have one in your face. So.
Altogether less painful is Lorraine's need to find a quiet spot for Sunday afternoon on the beach.
Can I go skinny dipping?
With 18 miles of golden sands to choose from, they find a private place to park up.
Look at us ladies.
Who gets it first?
Of course. A bit of champagne on the beach. A bit of driving on the beach.
It's a typical Sunday. We're on holiday, permanently on holiday. There's nowhere else to go. We've got this, which is a couple of hours away from where we live. It's beautiful.
In England, we used to on a Sunday, probably because of the weather and what our friends are doing, we used to go and sit in a working men's club because that's all there was to do. Well, now I do this.
Even with a holiday lifestyle, the move to Australia is a daunting one. Lorraine and family must still decide if they'll spend the rest of their lives here. For many Poms, starting a new life down under means leaving close friends and family 10,000 miles away in the UK. Accountant Lorraine finds this particularly difficult.
I've done your parcel up.
Oh, excellent.
A year ago, with the move to Australia in motion, Lorraine found out her mother was terminally ill. Her mother's illness has made the decision about staying in Australia a tough one.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing, isn't it?
Yeah, she turned up into a lovely girl.
Yeah. Love you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, sweetheart.
See, that's hard. That's not nice. this is the harder side of living out here, is having those conversations and just missing them. Do miss them. It's sort of like, and I know my dad's doing absolutely everything, but just sometimes I just want to be there to give them a cuddle, and it's something that you can't, on Skype you can't do it, you can't have that physical touching. My mum and dad have always said to me, very proud of you, because I've always gone for what I've wanted. And I know they are, but I just wish that I could give them a cuddle and reassure my dad that I am thinking of him and tell my mum that I love her. But I can't do it because I made this choice, and I'm happy, I am happy that I've made this choice. It is the right thing for us, but days like that, I just get a little bit sad. Time for a drink.
It's the final tests of the Queensland Surf Lifesaving Championship, and Welshman Stuart Snell is fitting in some last-minute revision.
Here's a good one. What's the first step in the management of drowning? Remove the patient from the water. 1, 2, 3, 4.
For Stuart, the competition is tight, and going into the final theory events, he's 2 points off the lead.
Stand clear, everybody. Stand clear. Turn off oxygen.
Clear.
Let's check for signs of life.
Checking for signs of life. Is there any... Look, Mr. Feel for breathing. Is there any breathing?
There is no breathing. There is no signs of life.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice one.
I hope I get third. I hope I get third.
In second place on 109.75 points, Alexandra Headlands, Michael White. And in first place on 111 points, 0.25 from North Clifford, Stuart Snell.
I love being here and love the Gold Coast and love training. I'm 31 years old now, but I'm still swimming and training as hard as I was when I was 14, 15, 16. Yeah. And a lot of my other friends have long since retired and, probably got kids and families and those kind of things now, but I'm still living the dream.
Yeah, mate. Best of luck at Aussies as well.
Cheers, thank you.
I'm sure you guys will want to at Aussies.
2 months later, Stuart went on to win his third Aussie title. He's found his paradise and has no plans to leave. Back in the 38-degree heat of the rainforest, Irishman Frank has also found his calling.
Yeah, that feels better. It is hard, isn't it?
10 years ago, when Frank came to Australia, he had no training in plants and botany, but he soon developed a love for the rainforest.
It's not something someone sees every day, but it's a little Christmas orchid. One of the pluses of working out here again, to be able to see something like that. We all bushwalk on our free time anyway, so even on our free time we come out into areas like this. It's probably how I got into doing this, was doing a lot of bushwalking and just wanting to know every plant that I could see. It was just so different from Ireland, everything is new.
Moving to Australia gave Frank the opportunity to turn his passion into a career.
I don't think I would have had the opportunity to do what I do in Ireland. People would kind of think, oh, you haven't studied at whatever University Cork, you haven't studied botany, so you can't do that, You can be anything you want to be here if you put in the effort.
Frank's hard work isn't over. There's 60,000 acres to weed if he's to return the rainforest to its former glory.
Hopefully by the time I retire, we'll have a good chunk of it done. But I'll still be going out there when I'm retired, just making sure it's back to the way it should be and it's being protected. It's an ongoing battle, it's never going to be finished really.
Having completed a year in Australia, Lorraine and Marcus and daughter Sky have come to a decision about whether they want to stay.
I know that Cheryl doesn't like it.
The idea was to come out and have a minimum 12 months, see how everybody felt, did they like it, was it what we wanted to do? And we're still here.
I do want to be here. Like, I did regret it when I first came here. I was like, no, I don't like it. I want to go home. And then Mum and Dad said, stay a year. If you don't like it, we'll send you home. But now I've been here a year, I do love it, and I don't regret anything about coming here. Yeah.
Me and Sky have both said we would like to go back to the UK for a visit. You know, save up some money and have a holiday. Mark's going, nah, it's too much in Australia to see first.
Yeah.
How would you like to spend 14 nights in the beautiful Gold Coast of Australia? We'll be sending one lucky family of 4 off to stay in a gorgeous beachfront apartment in Surfers Paradise. You'll be sent on an exciting outback adventure, get up close and personal with the animals at the zoo, and be given £5,000 spending money. To be in with the chance of winning this trip of a lifetime, all you have to do is answer the following question. What is the famous landmark in Sydney? Is it A, the Eiffel Tower, B, the Opera House, or C, the Statue of Liberty? To enter, call 0901 29 39 123. Calls cost no more than £1 and 3 pence from BT landlines. Calls from other networks may be higher and from mobiles will be considerably more. Or text A, B or C to 88444. Texts cost £1 plus 1 standard network rate message. Red button viewers can enter by pressing their red button now. You can also enter for free at itv.com. Entrance must be 18 or over and lines close at 10 a.m. on the 20th of July 2011. Entries made after closing time will not be counted but may still be charged. Next time, it's all in a day's work for paramedic Jane as she hits the beach.
What's your name? Just give my hands a squeeze. Yep, cool. And they feel all normal.
Meter maid Zoe struts her stuff on the Gold Coast.
You got it? Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
And distillery boss Michael's dream of becoming an Aussie icon takes him to Sydney.
Then we go in for the kill.
Join me for the National Movie Awards live from Wembley with wizards, pirates, sports stars and exclusive performances from JLS and Take That. That's all coming up next.
For more than 60 years, Brits have been sold the dream of a new paradise life in Australia. And in Brisbane and the Gold Coast, over 85,000 residents were born in the UK. They're drawn to the paradise beaches, lush rainforest, and the allure of exotic wildlife. This week we'll follow champion lifesaver Stuart as he tries to beat the Aussies at their own sport.
Yeah, it was pretty hard, that was it.
We'll join plant expert Frank in the rainforest.
Beautiful markings, massive big claws.
And meet Lorraine, who's looking for a holiday lifestyle in Australia.
We are professional sunbathers here.
And we'll find out if they can really find paradise down under.
You woke me up at 5 o'clock in the morning to come here, and you haven't even fed me yet.
I woke up at 6.
5.
Marcus and Lorraine, their daughter Sky, moved to Australia just over a year ago.
And the beach is
Look at the beach. Wow.
It's 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, and the family are meeting some fellow newly arrived Poms for an Aussie breakfast barbecue on the beach.
Yeah, we were starting to panic. We didn't think Marcus was actually going to find the Barbie. It's beautiful here though, isn't it? If you were in the UK and you had these sort of facilities, they'd be vandalised or trashed and that, where I think because everybody lives outdoors here, it's people appreciate what we've got on offer, so you do look after it. And the good thing is the men have to do the cooking because it's cool. It is a barbecue, isn't it? So us women, we don't have to cook. It's all for the men. But
They can't.
I'm going to give him such a slap in a minute.
Where'd you get that from then?
I saw it in that pommy shop at Coomera.
Their friends, Cheryl and Paul, moved out from Scarborough a year ago. The 4 met through a British expat Facebook group.
Paul's like our naked chef over here.
Let's get an all-round suntan.